She wasn't looking for a knight. She was looking for a sword. Atticus. Beautiful people, welcome back to this powerhouse channel, where we explore what it means to live boldly and unapologetically. In this video, we're diving into the intriguing lives of Sigma females, those rare, fiercely independent women who live by their own rules. Now, you might be wondering, why do Sigma females have such incredibly hard lives? Is it by choice? By design? Or maybe because society struggles to understand their unique mindset? In this video, we'll break down 10 reasons why life as a Sigma female is no walk in the park. But stick with me, because for every challenge, there's a hidden strength. And by the end of this, you'll see why these women are nothing short of extraordinary. Oh, and if this resonates with you, be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and join this amazing community of empowered thinkers. Ready? Let's get started. Number 1, the weight of independence. Sigma females are fiercely independent, often shouldering responsibilities that most people wouldn't dare take on. They don't rely on others for validation or help, which can feel empowering, but let's not sugarcoat it. Carrying everything on your own shoulders is exhausting. Imagine a Sigma female as the CEO of her life, making every decision, managing every crisis, and never outsourcing her happiness. This relentless self-reliance can lead to burnout, but she wouldn't have it any other way. Psychologist Nathaniel Branden, in his book The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, emphasizes that true independence stems from self-respect. Sigma females embody this principle, proving that relying on oneself is the ultimate form of empowerment. Beautiful people, while independence can be a heavy burden, it's also a badge of honor. Sigma females remind us that the hardest paths often lead to the most rewarding destinations. Number 2, misunderstood and misjudged. Sigma females are enigmas. Their quiet confidence and refusal to conform often lead others to misjudge them. They're seen as aloof, arrogant, or even antisocial. But in reality, they simply value depth over superficiality. A Sigma female might skip the office happy hour to focus on a passion project, only to be labeled as distant. What others don't realize is that she's prioritizing her time and energy on what truly matters. It's like being the person who skips the party because they're binge-watching a documentary on quantum physics. Not everyone gets it, but it's their vibe. Author Susan Cain, in her groundbreaking book Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking, highlights how introverts, and by extension, Sigmas, are often misunderstood in a world that rewards extroversion. If you've ever felt misunderstood, take a page from the Sigma playbook. Don't shrink yourself to fit someone else's expectations. Number 3, the struggles of emotional resilience. Sigma females are masters at controlling their emotions. But here's the catch. The world often mistakes this composure for emotional detachment. Behind the scenes, they feel deeply and process emotions with incredible strength. Think of a Sigma female as a swan gliding gracefully across a lake. What you don't see is the furious paddling happening beneath the surface. They're like the friend who gets dumped and calmly says, "It's fine," while secretly creating a 10-step post-breakup glow-up plan. Brené Brown, in her book Daring Greatly, explores how vulnerability is a sign of strength, not weakness. Sigma females prove this by maintaining emotional resilience without losing their authenticity. Beautiful people, remember that resilience isn't about never falling. It's about always getting back up stronger. Number 4, the battle against gender norms. Sigma females live outside societal expectations. They don't fit into the traditional molds of femininity, and this makes them targets for criticism. They're often told they're too much or not enough. A Sigma female might choose a high-powered career over settling down. And while her male counterparts are celebrated for ambition, she faces judgment. It's like being a cat that refuses to chase mice. Completely valid, but it confuses everyone else. Journalist Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie advocates for breaking gender norms in her book, We Should All Be Feminists. Sigma females are living proof of this, challenging outdated stereotypes every day. Every time a Sigma female defies societal expectations, she creates space for others to do the same. Number 5, the cost of boundaries. Sigma females are boundary-setting queens. They know what they want and won't settle for less, which can rub people the wrong way. Imagine a Sigma female who declines a friend's last-minute plans because she's honoring her personal time. Instead of being appreciated, she's labeled as selfish. Setting boundaries is like saying no to free pizza. People don't understand it, but you have your reasons. Beautiful people, boundaries are the ultimate form of self-love. Sigma females teach us that protecting your peace is never up for negotiation. Number 6, the loneliness of high standards. Sigma females don't just set the bar, they raise it. This commitment to excellence often leaves them feeling isolated. A Sigma female might struggle to find a partner who matches her ambition, leaving her to choose solitude over settling. Psychologist Abraham Maslow, in his hierarchy of needs, highlights self-actualization as the highest level of human fulfillment. Sigma females live here, but it can be lonely at the top. High standards might narrow your circle, but they ensure the people in your life are truly worth it. Number 7, overburdened with leadership, the crown she didn't ask for. Leadership is a role that often chases Sigma females, even when they'd rather not wear the crown. Their quiet strength, decisiveness, and ability to handle challenges with grace make them natural-born leaders. Whether it's heading a corporate project, being the voice of reason among friends, or holding the family together during a crisis, the Sigma female often finds herself in the spotlight, not by choice, but by necessity. Picture this: a Sigma female at work is laser-focused on her own tasks. Suddenly, chaos erupts in her team. Deadlines are looming, tempers are flaring, and confusion reigns. Who does everyone turn to for solutions? You guessed it. She reluctantly steps into the role of problem solver because, well, no one else seems to have their act together. Being a Sigma leader is like always being the designated driver. You didn't sign up for it, but here you are, sober, steering everyone else to safety. Leadership expert Simon Sinek, in his book Leaders Eat Last, highlights that true leaders put others first, not for recognition, but because they genuinely care. Sigma females embody this principle. They lead not for the applause, but because they can't stand to see things fall apart. Beautiful people, leadership might feel like a burden, but it's also a gift. Sigma females teach us that stepping up when no one else will is the ultimate act of courage. And even if the crown feels heavy, they wear it with dignity and strength. Number 8, the fear of vulnerability, the fortress she's built. Sigma females are emotional powerhouses. They feel deeply, but you wouldn't know it because they rarely let anyone inside their emotional fortress. Vulnerability is their Achilles heel. Not because they're weak, but because they've learned the hard way that not everyone deserves access to their heart. Let's say a Sigma female is going through a tough time, maybe a failed business venture or a personal loss. While most people would lean on a friend for support, she quietly processes her emotions alone, journaling her thoughts or taking a solitary walk in nature. It's like trying to hack into Fort Knox. You knock on her emotional door, and she's like, "Sorry, the vault's closed for maintenance indefinitely." Dr. Brené Brown, a leading researcher on vulnerability, explains in her book The Gifts of Imperfection that embracing vulnerability is essential for connection and growth. Sigma females know this in theory but struggle to apply it in practice. Their fear isn't unfounded. It's built on years of learning who can and cannot be trusted. Beautiful people, vulnerability isn't a weakness, it's a superpower. Sigma females remind us that while guarding your heart is important, letting the right people in can be life-changing. Number 9, constantly challenging the status quo, the rebel with a cause. If there's one thing Sigma females don't do, it's following the herd. They are trailblazers, constantly questioning norms, traditions, and that this is how it's always been done mentality. They're not contrarians for the sake of being difficult. They're visionaries who see beyond the surface. Imagine a Sigma female working in a traditional corporate environment. When she suggests innovative ways to improve efficiency, she's met with resistance. Why fix what isn't broken? They ask. But to her, complacency is the real problem. She's like that one person who questions why wedding cakes are so expensive and decides to bake her own. It's not about saving money, it's about proving a point. Malcolm Gladwell, in his book Outliers, The Story of Success, argues that true innovators are those who challenge the status quo and think differently. Sigma females fit this mold perfectly. They refuse to accept mediocrity and push boundaries, even when it makes them unpopular. Beautiful people, change doesn't happen by playing it safe. Sigma females remind us that being a rebel isn't about defiance. It's about creating a better path for those who follow. Number 10. The burden of being exceptional. The price of greatness. To be a Sigma female is to live in a constant state of excellence. They don't settle for mediocrity, and they don't let themselves off the hook. But here's the catch. Being exceptional comes with immense pressure. Society expects them to always perform, always excel, and never falter. Think of a Sigma female as a star athlete. Her natural talent puts her on a pedestal, but it also means she can't afford an off day. Whether it's at work, in relationships, or personal goals, she's held to impossibly high standards by others and herself. It's like being a chef who made the world's best lasagna once, and now every dinner guest expects Michelin star-level meals. There's no room for a mediocre casserole. Angela Duckworth, in her book Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance, emphasizes that high achievers often face burnout because of the relentless pressure to succeed. Sigma females embody this struggle. They thrive under pressure, but sometimes long for a moment of rest. Beautiful people, greatness comes at a cost, but it's also what sets you apart. Sigma females teach us that striving for excellence isn't about perfection. It's about giving your best, even when it's hard. Beautiful people, there you have it. 10 reasons why Sigma females have extremely hard lives. But don't let these challenges fool you. They're also what make these women extraordinary. If this resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe, and join this empowering community. Let's keep learning, growing, and living boldly. Having said this, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.